Imagine a vast sun-drenched landscape, rugged mountains meeting a churning sea, a land of incredible beauty and untold riches. This is South Africa, a nation forged in conflict, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of a new identity. Our story begins not at the very beginning, but in 1820, a pivotal year that would forever alter the course of this nation's history. Picture this: British sailing ships, packed with around 4,000 settlers, arrive on the shores of the Eastern Cape. They weren't the first Europeans here, of course. The Dutch had established a presence centuries earlier. But this wave of British immigration marked a new chapter. They were brought in to create a buffer zone between the expanding Cape Colony and the Xhosa people, sparking a series of frontier wars that would define the region for decades. This clash of cultures, a struggle for land and resources, set the stage for much of what was to come. As the 19th century unfolded, another monumental event shook the foundations of South Africa: the Great Trek. Beginning in the mid-1830s, thousands of Dutch-speaking settlers, known as Voortrekkers, packed their ox wagons and left the Cape Colony. They were unhappy with British rule, particularly the abolition of slavery, and what they saw as a failure to protect them on the frontier. They ventured deep into the interior, seeking independence and new lands. This epic migration led to violent confrontations with indigenous peoples, like the Zulu, most famously at the Battle of Blood River, and resulted in the establishment of new Boer republics, the Transvaal and the Orange Free State. Then, everything changed again. In 1867, a young boy found a glittering stone near the Orange River. It was a diamond. A few years later, in 1886, gold was discovered on a farm in the Transvaal, leading to the Witwatersrand gold rush. Fortune seekers from all over the world poured in. The sleepy Boer republics were suddenly sitting on the world's largest known gold deposits. This discovery didn't just create immense wealth. It intensified rivalries. The British Empire, eyeing the strategic and economic prize, grew increasingly entangled in the region's affairs. The influx of foreign miners, or Uitlanders, created political tension with the Boers, who denied them voting rights. These simmering tensions finally boiled over into the brutal South African War, also known as the Second Boer War, from 1899 to 1902. It was a devastating conflict. The British eventually overwhelmed the Boer commandos, employing controversial tactics, like a scorched earth policy and concentration camps where tens of thousands of Boer women and children, as well as black Africans, perished. The war ended with a British victory, and in 1910 the former colonies and republics were unified into a single country, the Union of South Africa, a self-governing dominion within the British Empire. But this new union was built on a foundation of racial segregation. From its inception, laws were passed to control the movement and land ownership of the black majority. This systematic discrimination was formalized in 1948 when the National Party came to power on a platform of apartheid, an Afrikaans word meaning apartness. Apartheid was a brutal system of institutionalized racial segregation and oppression that classified every person by race and dictated every aspect of life, from where you could live and work to who you could marry. Black South Africans were stripped of their citizenship, forced into impoverished homelands, and denied basic human rights. The response was a long and arduous struggle for freedom. The African National Congress, the ANC, initially committed to nonviolent protest, but after the Sharpeville massacre in 1960, where police killed 69 peaceful demonstrators, the movement turned to armed resistance. Leaders like Nelson Mandela were imprisoned. The world watched in horror, and international pressure mounted. Sanctions, boycotts, and cultural isolation helped cripple the apartheid regime. By the late 1980s, the system was unsustainable. In 1990, President F.W. de Klerk stunned the world by announcing the unbanning of the ANC and the release of Nelson Mandela after 27 years in prison. This courageous act paved the way for negotiations and the dismantling of apartheid. In 1994, South Africa held its first ever democratic elections, in which all citizens could vote. Nelson Mandela became the first president of a new, free South Africa. From the arrival of settlers and the Great Trek through the discovery of diamonds and gold, the devastation of war, the darkness of apartheid, and the triumphant dawn of democracy, South Africa's journey since 1820 is a powerful testament to the human spirit's capacity for both division and reconciliation. It's a story that continues to unfold, as this vibrant rainbow nation navigates its complex past to build a more inclusive future. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey through history compelling, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories from around the world. See you next time.